Hi everybody, my name is Bree and welcome back to my channel, Bree's Arts. All right everybody, I'm so excited for today's video because I am doing something super special for a really good friend of mine. Her name is Lisa and she turned 40 this year. So I wanted to make something extra special for her birthday. So Lisa definitely gave me the idea for today's video because she sent me this picture and it's from Amazon, and she was like, can you show me how to make this, or can you just make it for me and I'll pay you for it? And I was like, no, I will definitely make that for you for your birthday. Now, of course, I put my own little spin on a few things. So you guys, I can't wait to show you. With all of that being said, let's get into the first DIY. All right, you guys, here we go with DIY number 1. And we're gonna start off with making the tiered tray. So I got this salt shaker from my local thrift store, and I got the pepper shaker too. And I just loved how it kind of, like, it's so ornate and it has all of these beveled details on it. So I'm just wiping it down with a alcohol wipe and just making sure that it's nice and clean. And now I'm just going to use my sandpaper. And at first I was like, the top was a tiny bit rounded, just a tiny bit. So I'm just taking this sandpaper and I'm just, trying to level off or flatten the tip there. So rub on my sandpaper. I'm so sorry about the filming on this, but it was definitely shaking the entire room when I was sanding this off. And then I just grab my sandpaper and we're just going to try to sand down as much of that veneer that I can off of this salt shaker here. Now I did end up going through a few pieces of sandpaper. It's not the highest quality, it is from the Dollar Tree, but it did the job. So sand, and get as much of that off as you can. And then of course wipe it off, make sure it's nice and clean. And I did this for a little while, you guys. And so these nesting trays I did get off of Amazon. Came in a pack of 5, I believe. I'll try to link them down below. I did get them quite a while ago though. But the smaller one here is 12 inches and the bigger one is 14 inches. So those are the sizes of the trays. Now you can also make your own using just like some wood rounds and some of the tumbling tower blocks. That would totally work. It would just be, a little bit more work for you. And I'm just taking my linen white chalk paint by Rust-Oleum and my chippy brush and just putting a very rough coat. Check out that transition. A very rough coat, just one coat, that's all I did. And I did that for both of them. And you can see there, like, I wanted to see some of that wood poking through. We want to make this look kind of rustic, right? And I just grabbed my sanding block from the Dollar Tree and I'm just sanding down the edges, just bringing those out and, making it look nice and rough. Sand, 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 sand. There we go. So now I had this spindle I also found at the Restore actually, and I'm just going to cut off that one piece right there. And I just used my miter box and my saw. I really need a good saw, you guys. That is my mission this year. And of course, we are going to sand that down just exactly like I did with the salt shaker. And they look perfect together. Like, are they not perfect? I think so. And so here you're gonna see my whack way of trying to find the center of this tray. So I'm just measuring off because, it's 12 inch, or this one is the 14 inch. So my ruler, like my square there, was 12 inches. So I'm really just guesstimating, you guys, as to exactly where the center is. And it worked out pretty good. Like, there we go. There's the middle. And just measuring to make sure that my salt shaker is, centered. And then I'm just going to draw around that and grab some hot glue and some wood glue, and we're just gonna put that on the bottom here. With the salt shaker, there wasn't really anything that I could do to attach this like with hardware. So the wood glue and the hot glue should work fine. Lisa, don't handle this too much. And if you are going to transport it from the bottom. And so here you can see I drilled a hole in the 12-inch tray there, right in the center. And I'm just going to plop some wood glue onto the top of the salt shaker there. And I am going to grab a little bit of hot glue as well, just to make sure that it doesn't move at all here. And then just place the tray on top and try to get it as centered as I could there. And it actually worked out really, really well. And just holding that down, waiting for the hot glue to dry. And then I am just going to take a small screw here, put it in there, and use my power drill to drill that through the bottom. And it is secure. Like it worked out super, super well. Now with this spindle, because the screw is on the top there, it would not sit completely flush. So I did grab this little, I know you guys have told me what this is before, but you know, the little drilly outy attachment for my drill. So it's just kind of, you know, making an indent on the bottom so that the screw will then go into that so that the spindle sits flush. I hope that makes sense, you guys. And so now I'm just taking my drill and I'm gonna drill a hole in the top here. Now, you will notice a little bit later, I cut this spindle down just a little bit more and redo all of this. I didn't film it, but I just thought it was a little bit too tall, but you get the gist here. So I have this finial that I actually got off of Facebook Marketplace with a whole bunch of hardware that I found on there. And I'm just screwing that into the top. I thought it was absolutely perfect for the top of this tiered tray. Like, it's so beautiful. And then you can see here that I am just going to take, again, some wood glue and some hot glue, and I am just going to attach this spindle to the top of this tray. And then this tray is done, you guys. Like, it was so easy to put together, and I think it is absolutely stunning. It is stunning. Like, and it's so versatile. Like, I need to make a tiered tray for myself because you can do so many things with them. And when you just do a very neutral one, you can change it up for all of the seasons. Like, look at how gorgeous that is. Oh, I just love it. And we are going to actually jump right into the next DIY because I want to do a full reveal of everything at the end of the video all put together. So now I'm going to take one of these little houses that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just taking off all of those flower details. They're just really hot glued on, so I'm just using my heat gun to remove all of those flower details. And then I'm just taking my sanding block to sand this down and get rid of all of the lettering that was on this decor piece here. So just sand that all off, and then, you know, just wiping it up with my paper towel. And then I'm going to use this color of chalk paint. It is called Vintage Mustard. It is by Folk Art. And I just thought it was a really, really pretty yellow. Like, it's not a super bright yellow, but I just think it's so pretty. And now one of these little planks, I'm going to cut it off to 4 inches. I get those planks from the Dollar Tree. And then I am going to paint that up with my white chalk paint, just like that. Wasn't that magical? And I cut this decal out on my Cricut. It says, "Home is where my honey is." It's so cute. Look at that. And I'm just going to place that onto that white plank there. And there we have it, just like that. And now I've got these adorable little bumblebees. They are actually from Dollarama and they are self-adhesive. So I'm just sticking those on to the plaque there. And then I felt like I just needed a little bit more detail. So I cut this honeycomb out on my Cricut as well, just with black vinyl. And I'm just going to stick that onto the house there. There's a couple of different shapes that you can find in Cricut Design Space. And you can see there I'm just kind of fandangoing, just trying to figure out exactly how I want to place it there. There we go. And I just put a little piece of wood on the back of that white plank there, throw some hot glue on it. Just wanted it to have some dimension, and that's it for this DIY, you guys. It's so cute. All right, everybody, I hope that you're enjoying today's video. Isn't it great? It's so much fun. And I'm just popping in here just to remind you that if you like home decor on a budget, stuff that looks like super high-end, like you got it in a high-end store or off of Amazon, but you made it yourself and out of dollar store items, well, then you have come to the right place. So make sure that you tap that like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure that your notification bell is set to all so that you don't miss any of my videos. And I would like to take this opportunity to give my shout out to all of my breezers out there, all of my old subscribers, my new subscribers, and everybody in between. I appreciate you guys so much. Without you, I would not be here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. And with all of that being said, let's get back into those projects. All right, and jumping right into DIY number 3. So this is a decor piece that's been at Dollar Tree forever. I have a ton of them in my stash, this little hexagon piece. And so I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife and just remove that blust that is in the center there. So it was stubborn, I'm not gonna lie. I used my putty knife here, and I did end up getting the first layer of it's kind of like a chipboard, that lettering. And then I had to sand it like a mad woman, just so you know. So it does take a little bit of elbow grease, but I did get it all taken off. And we're just going to paint that up with my white chalk paint by Bogart, just like that. And this beautiful scrapbooking paper I got from Dollarama, and it comes in a really big book. I think it was like $4, like super cheap, really, really beautiful scrapbooking paper. And I just traced out the shape of the hexagon there, and I am cutting it just a little bit, inside that, obviously, because we do have to make up for the frame. And I did have to, place it, go back, cut, place it, go back and cut until it fit perfectly in the center of this hexagon, just like that. And then I do grab some Mod Podge, way too much Mod Podge, mind you, like that it was kind of clogged. When you squeeze and it's clogged and then you squeeze harder and then it all over. That's exactly what happened. You do not need a lot of Mod Podge here, and you have to be like super, super careful, because if you put too much and the paper is really, really saturated with Mod Podge, then what we're gonna do is not gonna work. So just FYI, you don't need a ton of Mod Podge to put this down. And I'm just, drying it up with my heat gun there, and there we go. Like, look at how pretty. Oh, with that gold foil sheen. Oh, it's so pretty. And so again, I cut this decal out on my Cricut, and it says, "Be kind." And so I'm just placing that down in the center here. Now, of course, you guys, if you don't have a Cricut, I understand that some of you don't have one. You can absolutely print this out and then put pencil on the back of the paper and then go over top and then use a Sharpie. Like, there are so many things that you can do. You do not need a Cricut to make this beautiful decor. And so now you can see I'm just using my hot glue gun, and I am putting a whole bunch of strands of hot glue on the top of this decor. So I'm just kind of, putting it on, and I'm tilting the piece to let it kind of drip down, and you will see why, because we are going to make some honey on the top of this decor piece here. It turns out so cute. It's so cute. So now we are going to, you can't really, well, you can kind of see it. All of that glue on there, and I'm just taking my vintage mustard paint again and a detail brush, and I am just going to paint all of that hot glue with that yellow so that it authentically looks like honey. Like, I absolutely love how this came out. It is so cute, and what a cool trick to do with hot glue. I just love it. And now I did have to do a couple of coats. Like, some of it I wanted it to be a little bit more transparent to like over the hot glue, and then some of it, I wanted it to be a little bit more opaque. So you guys, you do you as much or as little paint as you want to put on there. It is honey after all. And then I'm just cleaning up whatever whatever paint I kind of smeared on there, and that is it for this piece, you guys. Isn't it so adorable? I just love it. And now jumping right in to DIY number 4. This is really weird for me. I usually do my reveals right after I'm done a DIY, but I wanted to make sure that, that everything was all revealed at the same time. So I'm using this 6x6 wood plank from the Dollar Tree, and we are just going to paint that up with our black chalk paint by Folk Art. This black chalk paint is amazing. You only need 1 coat. And then I cut this decal out on my Cricut as well. It says, "Be nice or buzz off." Like, Lisa, this one's my favorite for sure. I just love it. And then I did cut out this stencil here on my Cricut. I know it's kind of difficult to see with the black underneath it, but it's the honeycomb, the same one that I used in the other DIY there. And I'm just going to take my vintage mustard and a makeup sponge and just dab all the way across the stencil. Now, it does not have to be perfect coverage. I didn't want it to be perfect. I wanted it to, kind of look a little, I don't know, rough and rustic, of course. And I'm just going to weed that out. And this honeycomb looks absolutely amazing. I love how this stencil turned out. So just weed all of that out. And you can see there I kind of went along this side as well. And now I am just going to take some of these sunflower stickers that I got at the Dollar Tree, and this will be our final detail on this piece. So I just grabbed a couple that I thought were really pretty, stuck those on there, and that is it for this piece, you guys. Oh, and I sanded down just a little bit because, we got to bring out the edges and whatnot. But it's so cute. Isn't it so pretty? Oh, I absolutely love it. Be nice or buzz off. And last one, you guys, DIY number 5. So I'm just using one of these smaller planks. At the Dollar Tree, there are 2 different sizes. So I am just going to cut this down. I only had to use my miter shears with this. And so I'm just, chopping that down. I think it's 4 inches as well. In length, and then I am just using my miter shears with a 45-degree angle and clipping off both sides to make a tag shape. And then using my crocodile, I just, cut a little hole into the top, and then of course sanding everything down so that it's nice and smooth. I freaking love that crocodile, you guys. I wish I should use it more often. And then grabbing my black chalk paint, I'm just going to paint up all the sides of this tag, front, back, sides, the whole shebang, because we are going to make a beaded garland. So I have a few different sizes, or I guess two different sizes of wood beads from Amazon. You can use whatever sizes you want. I'm sorry, you guys, I don't know what the sizes are, but I did 5 in black. I'm doing 10 in yellow, 20 in white, and then these are like honeycomb looking ones. Shablam! There we go. All painted up. So again, 20 white, 10 yellow, 5 black, and then 4 of those honeycomb ones. And now I'm just gonna thread this beaded garland on a piece of twine. And so the pattern is white, yellow, white, black, white, yellow, white, honeycomb, so that it goes all the way down in that pattern. So white, yellow, white, black, white, yellow, white, honeycomb, just like that. And it's the perfect length. It was the perfect length for a beaded garland. And then of course we are just going to thread the end through our little tag there, tie that off. And I believe, yeah, I used a little bit of hot glue. Like I clip the end, use a little bit of hot glue, and then thread that through the first bead there so that it's nice and secure and snug, and it looks really neat as well. And then everything else gets pushed down and we are good to go with that. Just like that. And of course, you know, burn off any of the little scraggly hairs and whatnot. And now we're gonna make a tassel. So I just wrapped this around, I think it was about 15 times. I wrapped it around my fingers, and then I make sure that I keep the loop there and thread the other end of the beaded garland through the entire loop, all of the strands of that, and then cut off the excess. And then I'm going to hot glue another piece of twine and just wrap that around just a few times around this tassel, like, you know, I don't know, 5-6 times. And then we're going to cut that off eventually. Yeah, cut it off first, girly. And then just hot glue that into place. And then we are going to cut through the remainder of the loop there. Give it a little bit of a haircut so that everything is all, you know, kind of the same. We're gonna haircut this a few times. And then I just grab a brush, and like, I guess this is like an old school comb kind of thing. And I'm just using my fingers, untwirling things, and then just brush, 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 all the way through to make a nice fluffy tassel. Look at how pretty. I love how this came out, you guys. And then I cut this decal out on my Cricut as well, just a cute little honeycomb from Cricut Design Space and the word honey, and place that on there, and then just final little touch here on the tag to put one of those flowers and a bee on there as well. And now I am going to just take a few of these little bees, and I am placing them on like every third yellow bead. So I think I only used 3 of them, but I just thought it was just the cutest touch to this adorable little beaded garland. Like, I love this. I think it is so freaking cute, and I can't wait for you to see everything all together, you guys. Right, you guys, that is it for this bumblebee themed tiered tray. I am not kidding. I cannot get over how much I freaking love every single one of these DIYs. You see how it all comes together. I just love it. You have to let me know down in the comments which one of these is your favorite. I also want to know, do you have a tiered tray in your house? And if you do, what is your theme right now? Like, do you switch it up all the time? Do you keep it super neutral? Do you go with the seasons or with the holidays, you guys, I would absolutely love to know. And of course, happy birthday to my bestie, Lisa. I love you, girl. And you guys, if you like what you see, do me a solid, tap that like button, maybe subscribe, tell your friends, you know, all of that jazz. Stay tuned for the gag reel. Bye, guys. Oh, should I put lips on? I think I need lips. And there we go, lips. And make sure that your notification bell is set to all. All right, you guys, I have something so awesome to show you today. I cannot wait for you to see what I've created. So Lisa definitely gave me the idea of, okay, spit it out. You've come to the right place. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. That's a little Simpsons reference for all of you golden oldies out there. You know, 90s kids. So here's the tray right here. And isn't it so cute? I just love how it turned out. And so I texted Lisa and I texted her a picture and she just absolutely loves it. And I'm like, well, BT dubs, I'm keeping it. I'm just kidding. It's all yours, Lisa. So here's my little dedication to my friend Lisa. We've known each other for about 15 years. We used to work together and she was my work bestie and I miss her. She left not too long ago and I miss her very, very much. Here we are on her wedding day with our other really, really good friend, Michelle. And of course I had to include a little bit of Star Wars because we're force choking people with Darth Vader. Lisa and I also went to Vegas together and we met Gordon Ramsay. So that was the coolest thing ever. Love you, girl. All right. I think we got it. All done. Woo!